That part is so Donkey Kong.
Oh yeah.
That part,
Yeah.
the
You
jungly
love
sound
it.
one. Yeah,
You love
of course I do.
it.
I love it. That was
Mm.
our official Soundbooth Theater live theme, composed by Aaron J.
Ooh.
Morton. Barely used
Yeah.
ever. We need to find more opportunities to use it because it's just fun.
I wish I could make it play from my ears at any given time in life, you know.
Yeah.
When I walk through a room.
Right.
Hey.
It'd be good to like presence, you know.
Maybe those days aren't too far off. I mean,
maybe.
cyber implants. I mean, there's already that sort of thing happening. Chips being implanted into our heads.
What's going to be great is when we don't have to go to school anymore. We can just have like a chip uploaded, and it's like K through 12, and then you just spend the rest of your time
like the
being
Matrix.
creative.
Like the Matrix. I know Kung Fu. Yeah.
I want speakers in my cheeks.
Why is that, Jeff?
I know this is not very technologically advanced, but I just want boobs that honk when you squeeze them.
That's a really good idea. So
I could probably
Aaron,
get
awesome.
that now. That's probably that
no
technology is probably
No.
already here.
Yeah, probably.
It is. Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Andy Gray. Yes,
Thank you, Andy.
The LLC 5
Yay.
was amazing to produce. Aaron Oster's here. Thanks for joining us, man. And we have Ness Lane. Let's see, who else do we have?
Oh, we got lots of people. We got Mystery X.
It seems like we have a lot of new people.
New avatars at least. Do people change their avatars and names from week to week?
I hope so. That sounds like a healthy practice.
I agree. I should start doing that.
Sounds cleansing.
Yeah. I still have the same email from high school.
I might as well, actually.
Thank you. Hotmail.com.
I still have the same phone number from
me. I definitely
when I was 18. I got a phone. I'm old enough to have not actually had a cell phone in high school.
Here it is. Here it comes back. But when is Mortimer coming?
Mortimer coming?
You guys act like someone asked you to bother us about it. That's how you act. That's what I mean.
Yep. Yeah. Hello. Say hello if you're watching right now and you haven't said hello. Maybe you're shy. Maybe you're feeling kind of quiet. That's okay. It's okay to feel shy and quiet, but say hello anyway.
Yeah.
I'm forcing you. Yeah. Do it now. Come on.
If you don't say anything, we're gonna grab you. We're gonna pull down your pants and we're gonna slap you on the ass with a paddle in front of everyone.
Yeah,
that's how we do it.
And then we're gonna get in touch with our friends at the top, and they're gonna show us your search history.
Yeah, our friends.
And then we're gonna tell everyone.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Whatever.
Sorry, guys. I don't know.
Is the top like?
We're not going to do that. Okay. We don't have that capability.
The top is Ahmed. Ahmed's the top.
Ahmed will sort it out for us.
Yeah.
So, what do we have today?
That's a great question, Jeff. Let me pull up my handy dandy list here. Okay. We have a number of different scripts. Actually, we have two scripts that we're going to be going through. One of them is a requests only poll, which the winner was Death Cultivator 2 by Eden Hudson. So you're going to be hearing a little bit of that. And we have the beginning of a new mini-series being written by... Wait for
really,
an audience.
Really
our audience is very enthusiastic today. They're not even letting me finish. It's Joe Deprof has written a mini-series called The AntiHero Chronicles.
Deprof.
No. Deprof.
Deprof.
Joe, comma, Deprof.
Deprof.
Okay.
Joe,
comma, Deprof.
Deprofio.
Yeah.
From Joe Deprof Gaming. Wrote AntiHero Chronicles. So you're gonna hear some of that.
Yes.
I don't know. My new Australian accent.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We've been taking Australian accents from Amy Walker.
Yes.
And Annie has been definitely at the top of the class this whole time.
She's a star. Yeah.
So
don't get your hopes up. I mean, it's still a work in progress.
Star.
It is.
Star.
You Aussies have the most weird way of talking.
Really?
It's a little bit offensive.
Dip thongs for
Just gonna
miles.
let that out there.
Yeah, a lot of F words, a lot of C words. That's just learning the accent is just inserting those words. It has nothing to do with vowels or consonants. It's just slipping the F and the C words in between sentences.
Yeah, pretty
strategically.
Yeah. I mean, you got to be tasteful about it.
Right, of course.
Right,
yes.
but
tasteful C words.
Ooh, that's a great name for a band. The tasteful C words.
Yeah.
SEAWARD, C word.
Yeah, C words. The tasteful C words.
If you guys want to find out what else Mr. Deprofio has been up to, he's got a Discord server. I don't know if, let's see, I don't have the link on me right now, but Deprof, if you can drop that in the comments or something, you can lure more people into your den. Besides that, Death Cultivator, and then we have one Gary's Game. This is going to be a shorter one, or at least a more relaxed one, because we have just 3 segments today, I think. Do we have any more segments than 2? The request, Deprof, and Gary's Games.
That's it.
All right. And Gary's Games is a haiku game. I don't know much about it, but I'm going to suck at it. That's all I know.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I'm horrible at that sort of thing.
All you have to do is count. Haikus are easier than rhyming poems.
That's true.
Haikus are easy. Let them make you happy now. This is pretty cool. Hey!
It worked.
Whoa. I did a haiku,
Watch your
guys.
Transformation in real time.
You are now a poet.
Thank you.
What a rags to riches haiku story.
What am I doing here? I could be.
Yeah, you can get yourself to New York City.
I'm moving out, Mom.
Besides that, before we get
they believe in me.
Before we get to the rest of the show, and before Justin starts his star-studded adventure through the East Coast, now that he is a famous poet, we can go through
all you
a little
do
bit.
is put on that suit and you just became brilliant.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, I get everything I want in life.
All right, so news. Most important piece of news: you guys go to soundbooththeater.com if you want to get if you want to get Rampage by Aaron Oster.
Yes,
cheaper than you would get it from Audible. Go buy it now, because on Thursday we are removing it from the platform. And it's going straight to Audible exclusively.
This is Audible.
This makes me a little bit sad. I'm gonna be honest. It makes me a little bit sad, just because I have we all have faith in our platform, right? And so when things go away from it for a little bit, especially, I mean, this is one of the ones that sold it better than most of the others. It makes me a little bit sad, but at the same time, it makes me happy that more people are going to be exposed to it. We only have so much reach, right? We have you guys, we have the newsletter, right? And even amongst all of you guys, not everybody wants to get on the platform yet, and I guess I can understand that. It's hasn't been tested as much as it needs to be, but it is getting better constantly. And so I think it's going to be a good thing for Rampage to go out into the wild, and so it's oats on Audible, bring in more people to us. And by the way, we're not putting the deep dive out there either. So if you want the deep dive, you better get it now. And remember, we will be once it's off the platform, if for whatever reason you get into the app and you can't listen to it, make sure to email us so we can get you a link so that you can download the MP3 versions. But our app guys are working on it to make sure that eventually, and it should be pretty soon. I mean, I looked at their timeline. It seems like it should work before next Thursday. But if for whatever reason a few days later it's not still on our platform, you can email us. But you should still be able to listen to it through the app even after it's out of our store. Exclusivity on Audible doesn't worry about what has already been sold, only where it's sold at the moment. So go pick that up, guys. That's essential. Also, for anyone who didn't know, Everybody Loves Large Chests 5 is finally out.
Oh yeah.
I'm really proud of that one.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. We have also what was the other piece of news? Oh, Archemy Online Book 4.
Ooh, it's close.
Yes. I said Warslinger. It's not
Wars
yet.
linger.
Wars linger.
Yeah.
Archemy Online.
Yes. Archemy Online Book 4 War Singer is almost done. It's really, really close. It's in with our beta listeners right now. And by the way, if you are an avid fan of Soundbooth Theater, you listen to a lot of audiobooks, and you would like to learn more about becoming a beta listener, join our Discord server, and we'll hook you up. So shoot us a message, and we will potentially hook you up. We'll talk about it.
We need to. I mean, we can't be taking very many people who don't have PhDs.
Yes, that's true.
We'll start a dialogue.
You need a PhD.
Bring your advocate, and we'll bring
listening.
ours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we'll see if we can come to an agreement.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
What Annie said. Okay, so we have that. Next week we have one more release from Wendigo Tales, Necessary Evil. This one will be narrated by Will Watt, featuring Annie Ellicott and Justin Thomas. So we are continuing that saga. There's going to be a total of 7 stories from that particular short story collection. There's going to be one other one that's a little bit tangential that's going to coincide with Pinnacle's Kickstarter campaign at that time in the middle of April. But yeah, just guys, give it a shot. Give Pinnacle Entertainment a shot. Give the Wendigo Tales a shot on our platform. Only $2 per short story.
$2, $2.50.
Easy. That's easy, right? And I think that's all the news. Any more news?
Is that all the news? We had an amazing new article about space buns come out. You can find that space buns, Tulsa, the Tulsa Voice, the Tulsa Times.
You can listen to a nice 45-minute audio interview of me in which I go into even more detail about space buns, the process on tulsapeople.com.
Has that been posted on the Facebook group yet?
I'm not sure if that's been posted on the Facebook group yet, but that's a fun one. And for whatever reason, I was in a very sharing mood that day, and I was just very bizarrely honest about everything in my personal life. So that's one that my friends are getting a good kick out of. I'm getting texts like, "Oh, this shit is cracking me up," and I'm like, "Oh, that's good. I'm glad." Yeah. So if you want to hear all, TMI about, my life for 45 minutes, including really fun stuff about space buns, plus the song from episode 1 at the end, check that out. We'll have that up on the Facebook page soon.
Yep. Okay, so that is it. That's
the news.
What are we doing first? We want to do Deprof's thing, or we want to do Death Cultivator?
Let's do Deprof's thing first. Let's start with some superheroes. Dun, 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 dun. Thank you, horn section.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
That was beautiful.
We needed
that. Was a piccolo flute or piccolo trumpet.
Piccolo trumpet. Oh.
Wow.
All right, so.
Oh, man. Those fast fingers.
The AntiHero Chronicles, written by Joe Deprof, and this is episode 0, Leap of Faith. Let me give you this blurb real quick. Sorely Grimerson is your average street-level superhero, angsty, violent, and brooding. When he finally confronts the villains that orphaned him, that killed his parents, he discovers the true bane of society. The superheroes. Sorely registers with GSO, the global superhero organization, to learn that to be the change he wants to see in the world, he needs to become the change. Under the hero alias Grim Raven, Sorley rapidly ascends the ranks of super society, his powers evolving rapidly to meet threat after threat from the coterie of the nefarious. Nope, that is the end of the sentence. Let me try this again.
It's okay. It's his first day.
It's my first time too, Jeff.
Under the hero alias Grim Raven, Sorley rapidly ascends the ranks of super society, his powers evolving rapidly to meet threat after threat from the coterie of the nefarious. Firmly in the crosshairs of supervillains, the media, and the A-list heroes, Sorley is going to need every ounce of power he has to break the system and save the world. All right, so this one, unlike Emily's wonderful American Fork, is a bit more serious. So we're gonna try and do this straight faced, everybody, and it shouldn't be too hard. It's written well, and it seems to have some pretty good tension. So I'm looking forward to it. All right, so we have a bunch of character descriptions that you guys don't need. What do you?
You don't need those. You'll get to know the characters.
All right, like, that's our business.
That's for us. Yeah.
All right, but we're ready to go. So just JTJ is the star today. He is our protagonist.
Sorley Grimmerson's my name.
And Annie.
Yeah.
Haikus are your
Annie is
Haikus are my game.
Annie's going to whip him into shape.
All right. Start us off, narrator.
Everybody ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Episode 0. Leap of Faith.
Let's go over this one more time.
The sideways glare Panzer leveled at Sorley said it all. She didn't think he'd been listening. She was half right. Sorley turned to look at her. This was his first assignment with the hero. He wanted her to know that she had his attention. Panzer was maybe half a head shorter than Sorley. The sides and back of her head were shaved, leaving an ample tuft of rust-colored hair hanging over the right side of her face and hiding one of her hazel eyes. He had a hard time gleaning anything else from her by looks alone. The heavy fatigues she was wearing and impressive number of firearms she brought along occupied most of his attention.
Go ahead.
Panzer's intense gaze seemed to punch straight through the lenses of his mask. The intent of it was familiar to him. According to Panzer's file, she was former military and was recruited to GSO after the 2050 conflict. Panzer's civilian name was Verna Riggs. As a soldier, she'd been awarded for valor in battle and credited for the success of the Western Federation's Hail Mary operation that marked the beginning of the end of the conflict. Before taking on the role of superhero at GSO, she'd been a drill sergeant for the Western Federation. She was probably used to people addressing her as ma'am.
The Council wants your abilities measured in real time. Street-level heroes with superhuman speed, reflexes and perception are a dime a dozen. But for some reason, the Council sent you out here for a practical exam. My role in this exercise is to observe and document your competence and response to crimes and progress committed by superhuman entities. I've been instructed not to intervene unless there's a significant threat to the public or GSO assets. You're on your own, savvy?
The slang caught Sorley off guard, but it made sense considering the barely detectable Australian twang to her words.
Got it.
He shifted in the super suit. It was the only selection available from the GSO quartermaster that wasn't garish or obvious, but in exchange he was given a sort of urban ninja look. The Kevlar nanoweave mesh felt like it adhered to his skin with how much effort he had to put into moving. The Kevlar plates that covered his vital and striking areas were lighter than he expected, and the matte black finish over the whole suit would help him move through the shadows unseen. The only piece of equipment of his own that he'd been permitted was his domino mask. The supplier had been right about one thing so far. The GSO lacked the tech to detect and analyze magic. Wearing the mask had concealed his true face from the GSO and Panzer, and so long as he remembered to put it on, that wouldn't change.
A GSO informant submitted to the World Bank would be hit by Zand Brandau's gang tonight. You've got 10 minutes to prep. Since this is a practical extension of your global superhero organization entrance exam, there are 3 conditions that will result in an automatic failure. Death to a civilian is an automatic fail. Brandau's gang escaping without gaining significant intel is an automatic fail. Killing any of Brandau's gang is an automatic fail. You represent the GSO from this point forward. Act like it.
Sorley's teeth ground as he set his jaw.
You represent the GSO, so no killing, no allowing death. No one gets away. What a load of shit.
Sorley struggled to keep the words in his head. He'd witnessed GSO's protocol in action long before being on the inside, but if he were going to fulfill his mission, he needed to play ball. At least for now.
I understand.
Really? You don't sound like you understand. You sound angry.
I'm about to drop into a bank and fight an unknown number of hostiles. No intel regarding their abilities or equipment, and the burden of safety for the night staff of the bank is all on me? Getting angry is how I get ready.
He realized there was no lying to Panzer. She'd been the proctor of dozens of street-level cohorts of superhero applicants, many of them, without a doubt, just like him. Another half-truth would have to do.
Fighting angry is just going to get you killed, rookie. Brandau himself isn't expected to be at the heist. But if he is, and you go in there mad, he'll pick you apart before you can blink twice. Even with your reflexes.
Okay, fine. If I'm going to get down there before it starts, I gotta go now.
Sorley vaulted over the ledge of the building. Heroes or villains, it didn't matter. They always staked out their ops from above. He'd have to remember to look up in the future. A slide down the brick face of the office building he'd been perched on and some maneuvering through a fire escape or two, Sorley was crouched on top of the bank. Brandau's gang always operated in 4-man teams, usually backed up by 2 more. Where his alias was Debonair, his crew would be easy to spot, well-dressed and well-equipped. At most, he'd be looking at fighting 12 of Brandau's lackeys. They could be enhanced or average citizens who turned to crime for warm clothes, money, and a place to rest their heads at night. Or they could be scum. He peeked through the bank skylight and frowned. There were a pair of hired security guards with small-caliber pistols, meager body armor, and piss-poor awareness. Sure, it was late, and any reasonable person could expect that the night would pass without incident. But when 3% of the total world population had some sort of superpower or mutation that could give them a smattering of abilities, reasonable went out the window. He stood and looked out into the rumbling city. King's Gough? G-O-U-G-H. King's Gough had been a nice city once. With the rise of heroes like Atreyu, Arclight, and Psyker, things had only gotten worse. Escalation was a very real thing. The more powerful the heroes, the more the villains compensated to deal with them. A black SUV with a plow mounted to the back screeched to a halt outside of the bank, ripping sorely from his contemplations. Tires squealed as the SUV accelerated in reverse straight at the front door of the bank. One of the guards was running for a switch on the wall. Sorley's superhuman perception kicked in as adrenaline flooded him. The switch would bring down the bulletproof barriers in front of the doors and windows, sealing the guards inside, assuming the thugs weren't superpowered or packing some serious hardware. The guard wasn't going to make it to the switch before the SUV got there. Sorley reached into his hip pouch and pulled one of the gadgets he borrowed from the GSO quartermaster, a sonic emitter that had a glob of adhesive on one side. He primed it with the press of a button and stuck it to the skylight. The detonator was gesture-activated. If he guessed right, he'd be able to throw the switch right as the gangsters entered the bank. With a crunch, the metal wedge slammed through the glass and flimsy metal of the bank entrance. 4 men in perfectly tailored suits poured out through the rear door of the SUV, automatic weapons trained on the 2 guards and searching the corners of the bank lobby with their muzzles. While they appeared to be rather well trained, their equipment indicated that none of them were enhanced.
Perfect.
A smug grin crept across his face as Sorley crouched and rapped on the glass with his knuckles, causing the thieves and guards to look up.
Hey! Are you the asset?
One of the would-be crooks looked up at Sorley with his head cocked to the side. Another slapped him on the shoulder. Sorley extended his arm, and then his middle finger. In the instant that the guns pointed in his direction, the charge let out a high-pitched whine and shattered the glass. Sorley dropped into the lobby with the falling shards of what used to be the skylight. Time seemed to slow as he landed. The rifle barrels turned to follow him. Sorley's right hand snapped out and latched onto the first barrel that moved as his left foot shot out low to his side. His heel contacted one thug's leg just above the knee, forcing the limb to bend in the opposite direction and forcing out a scream of pain. With a twist and pivot to the right, Sorley wrenched the rifle out of the hands of the first thug and slammed the stock into the side of another's neck, slung it back into his own grip, fired a shot through the hands of the yet untouched thug, then came to a halt with the barrel pointed at the face of the disarmed criminal.
Don't shoot!
Tell the other crews to back off. Pack it in and call it a night.
The other... Sorley cracked off a shot barely an inch from the man's ear and waited for his ears to stop ringing.
What the
I hate repeating myself. Tell them to leave.
Sorley menaced, the man with the weapon leveling the barrel at the Sorley menaced the man with the weapon, leveling the barrel at the man's knee.
There are no other crews!
What?
Boss said that tonight was special. We would have an asset. That's all I know.
Fuck.
Sorley tossed the rifle back to the gangster. In the moment that the unsuspecting man fumbled with the weapon to point it at his assailant, Sorley acquainted the man's head with his fist intimately.
Wow, man. Woo! You are something else. Shoot. I don't think Arclight could take out a crew that quick, and he's worldwide. You some sort of ace rookie?
The sound of a hard-soled shoe scraping against pavement and rapid suction perked Sorley's ears up. The same shoe scraping against shattered glass and a popping sound behind him kicked his instincts into overdrive. Sorley weaved to the right as a baton soared past his head, crackling with electricity. He rounded and threw a jab only to meet empty air. His eyes flicked back and forth under his domino mask. There were no additional scuffs in the glass that was left on the floor, and he heard nothing besides the groans and whimpers of the fallen criminals. Nothing. He whirled to see both guards out cold and a hint of movement around the corner headed toward the vault.
Fuck.
He took off in an all-out sprint after the unknown player. Sorley pressed two of his fingers against the side of his mask and pushed his intent into it, shaping the magic in the left lens to show him what he had missed in the moment. The fingers wrapped around the baton were slim and eloquent. The sleeve that the hand and arm ran into was 3/4 length purple leather with a Union Jack on the shoulder, and a flash of brown hair told him what he needed to know and just how outclassed he was. Leap. Catherine Knight of London, England, was an exceptional thief and had earned her moniker through her ability to leapfrog through space. From the few reports that had come in, her abilities functioned mostly by starting her jump in one spot and finishing it in another. Sorley's very recent experience proved that, and more. Sorley's very recent experience proved that, and more, was true. The replay winked out just as Sorley slid around the corner. Leap mirrored his slide, jumping out from the wall itself. There was no time to react. The baton cracked across Sorley's jaw, sending sparks across his vision and the surface of his mask as it discharged. He twisted involuntarily, the electricity spasming his muscles. Sorley caught himself before colliding face first into the floor and threw a back kick toward his opponent. More empty air. Sorley's vision snapped back into focus just as a boot rushed toward his face. He lurched to the left, scrambling on the floor. Leap's shin crashed into his collarbone and sent him sprawling across the floor.
Right, love. We can either stop here or I can keep kicking the shite out of you. Your choice.
He wouldn't be able to take too many more shots like that. Leap's abilities far surpassed his own. It made sense. To handle leaping through solid matter, she would have to have tremendous reflexes and awareness. Sorely groaned as he got to his feet.
You know us hero types. Never give up. Never say die.
Leap arched an eyebrow at him and put her hands on her hips, studying the novice hero.
If I didn't know better, I'd wager you don't believe that at all.
Sorely took advantage of her curiosity and shifted. He slipped the vial he got from his supplier into his hand. She told him that injecting it was the only way to get the boost he was looking for. Unfortunately, he left the syringe in his other, non-existent supersuit. He pulled off the nanoweave mask and tossed it to the floor.
Do I look like I do?
He would only have a second, less than that, to pull off the stunt he was planning.
You look like shit, honestly. I didn't know GSO was sending interns out to do their dirty work.
Sorely grunted, spit some blood onto the floor, and made his move. When he went to brush the blood off his cheek with his sleeve, he popped the top off the vial and swigged its contents. The taste was awful, like bourbon that was left out overnight that someone had ashed an entire cigar into. Sorely hacked and coughed on the mixture. Leap capitalized on the movement and vanished, reappearing midair in a soaring sidekick. Whatever the concoction was kicked in immediately. Sorely's reflexes fired off and he weaved to the side. The infusion stirred more in Sorely than he'd thought. He'd known about the heightened reflexes, dexterity, and senses, but super speed and strength? He didn't know he had that in him. He paid the price for it. His dodge not only cleared him from the potential follow-up attack, but the potential to do anything else as he soared through the sheetrock wall in the hallway at the front counter. Sorely didn't feel a thing. He shot up to his feet and was very suddenly back where he'd jumped from. The tile where he'd been standing had been torn up by his sudden departure. The vault was still sealed, and Leap was nowhere to be seen. He didn't know the limits of her powers, if she needed to see where she was leaping to or not. He heard nothing coming from the vault, nothing in the bank other than the breathing of the unconscious people all the way back in the lobby. Sorely breathed and focused, pushing out his awareness beyond the walls of the bank. His hearing was too good. There was too much noise. The humming of electricity in the building, the car alarm going off down the street, hard boot soles slamming into pavement and fire escapes, the chambering of rounds in Panzer's hand cannon, all the sounds fed into an overwhelming spiral that shattered into 1,000,000 pixels as Panzer fired. Sorely's vision went white and his body went limp. His senses were overloaded. He couldn't keep up and his brain shut down. Just before his consciousness faded entirely, he heard the supplier. Her voice was barely above a whisper. It sounded... No, it felt like she was right next to him. He could smell her, smoke and briar roses, feel the warmth of her presence next to his head. But he couldn't see anything. You finally did it. You finally gave in. Just you wait, little raven. There is so much more to come.
Nice.
All right.
All right. Yeah. Fuck yeah. So
Yeah.
action-packed.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. Joe, get in here. Get your ass in here. Tell us about this.
Hey, it's
Hello.
Joe.
What's going on? So what do you want to know?
I want to know where this came from.
So this kind of came. I work in a cubicle most of the day, and I get pretty bored, so I just kind of let my mind wander. And my wife and I had recently just kind of cranked through all of the Marvel movies again, and I was thinking about Spider-Man: Far From Home and about how like all of the villains and stuff like that in Far From Home came out specifically because of like the irresponsible nature of superheroes, like in the moment. I was like, that would be a cool story. And I like writing, oh my God, Deprof. I like writing anti-hero stories. And I personally feel like there needs to be more. And I just kind of started writing this. And then I was like, you know what? Like I'm just going to keep going. So Sorley is kind of based off of a character that I played very briefly in a tabletop game, who was inspired by Terry McGinnis from Batman Beyond. So I just kind of pulled all of that into one spot and just let it go to see what happened.
Awesome. Yeah, so this is pretty intense, pretty dark. Holy Amish chin strap, Batman. That's
I think I pulled it off well.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
But yeah, it's nice and intense, nice and fast paced. And so yeah, so how much of this is written already? This was just was this just a chunk that you sliced off the top?
So this was actually pretty much entirely new writing, like this episode. What I have a fair amount of it already kind of mapped out. When I had initially talked with the fabulous Emily Labus about this, I was kind of mapping out how I wanted the story to go, and I decided that for this very episode of Soundbooth Theater Live, I needed to figure out a pilot episode, because pretty much every superhero show that I've ever seen starts off with a pilot episode that throws you right into the action and then kind of puts you into the origin and then the rest of the story afterwards. So I'm trying to capture that classic flow while still keeping it punched up and intense.
Awesome. Yeah. You guys have any questions?
Yeah, well, I mean, this is
More.
more. The writing itself, I found that the action was really, really well done, really punchy, like literally and artistically speaking.
Well written.
For the budding authors in the chat, you actually do have you are studying creative arts and writing. Is that
Yes.
correct?
I am.
And when it comes to writing combat scenes, do you have any tips for any authors coming up for keeping them fast paced like that?
I have a couple. Write it like you see it in a movie, right? Like write it as if you're watching it happen, watching it unfold. Give yourself the mental freedom to see the different angles, right? Like, if you think about the Matrix as an example,
Yeah.
right? So you've got a bunch of different dynamic camera angles that capture a lot of the action in very different ways. If you allow yourself to do that and not just think about it like Street Fighter, like 2D, just going back and forth, you're going to be able to capture a lot more of that and keep the pace and the tempo up. One of the other things is just to use your punctuation and use the space on the page. One of the ways that I like to dangle people with suspense as I'm writing is that little one sentence paragraph.
Mm-hmm.
That does a lot. Makes you
Right.
stop. It makes you stop, look, and then look again. And that can help you to push the tempo.
Right. Yeah,
Interesting.
cool.
That's very
So-
psychological. That's
Yeah,
like
a little bit.
the psychological impacts of writing.
Yeah, you
Right,
just
well-
gotta make the book a total experience. That's all.
Sure.
Yeah, I
sure.
like that. The one sentence paragraph.
So you are currently working on how many pieces of fiction at the moment?
So working very hard on, I would say 3 at the moment. I'm working on Ascendant Online Book 2. I am working on Subject Victor, which is not only the thesis for my Master of Fine Arts program, but a novel that I've been working on technically for almost 6 years now. And then there's this AntiHero Chronicles. I have probably 2 or 3 other things in the pipe that I'll be working on as I get burnt out on other things.
That's got to be one of the coolest things to do for your thesis is a novel.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Like I don't know. I always imagine. I don't know. I'm like schoolophobic, so I always imagine people going for doctorates and masters and stuff, like just being super stressed out about their thesis all the fucking time.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
it's
so-
stressful.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it is, but also it seems so much fun that it's like working here. It's like, yes, I'm stressed out all the time, but it's so worth it
Yeah,
because my life is all about creating cool things.
pretty much.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell you a little secret since you said that you were schoolophobic. I failed out of my first year of college, and I failed creative writing in high school.
Wow, that's interesting.
So
How long did it take you to get back on the horse?
well, if we're speaking holistically, it took me probably 3 years to get like really back into it and to actually get serious about finishing school. When I first went back, I was like, yeah, I'm just going to do this so that I don't have to pay my student loans. And then I took intro to creative writing in college. And I was like, man, like I kind of want to do more of this. And my undergrad was in business. So I was like, how much space do I have to play with? So I did all of my free electives in creative writing courses.
Nice.
And then after that, I was like, I'm not done yet. I want more. And then I went and I took my master's in English and creative writing. And as of August, I believe I will be done with my master's of fine arts in creative writing.
Wow. Well,
That's
quite
awesome.
an accomplishment.
Fantastic,
Yeah,
man.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh yeah.
I just like
All
to
right.
stay unreasonably busy.
Yeah. I
Silly.
know what you mean. So, you currently have how many books published to Amazon right now?
I have one book published to Amazon right now.
Okay.
That is Ascendant Online, Book 1, Witness the Beginning.
Awesome. And is there any other places where people can discover your work?
Yes, the absolute best place to do so would be at my website, Deprof, DEPROF.net. That has webhooks to literally everywhere else that you can find me on the internet. That's got me on Discord, so if you missed the Discord link, you can get it there. Patreon, my Royal Road link is not there, but if you look for Joe Deprof on Royal Road, I'm also there, where you can get some teasers of Ascendant Online Book 2 in progress.
Awesome. Hey, well, thank you so much, man, for coming and hanging out with us and giving us the script to play with.
Thank you very much for having me. It was a genuine pleasure.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll see you again soon. And yeah, on to Death Cultivator, guys. You ready?
Death Cultivator 2. Death Cultivator 2. This is the theme song for Death Cultivator 2.
Dude, this is how we compose.
I'm Jesse.
For our audio dramas, our
right.
deep dives. If you guys were
We
curious,
hook a microphone up to Sibelius and we just are like, and it like
And Aaron
notates
just
everything we're
sits
doing.
there. Yeah, and he's just like, okay, all right. And he's just got sweat pouring down. We're all singing at him at the same time. If anyone could pull it off,
yeah,
it's Mr. Aaron G. Morton.
we definitely need to do a skit.
We should.
Okay, so I have
Right.
seen Eden Hudson's name around. I dare say she must have been on Soundbooth Theater Live at some point. Been requested. I'm almost positive. We've done so many of these, and so many of them go by. It's hard for me to remember exactly, but I always see her name around the community. So it's pretty cool that we get to investigate something from her. So, anyone in the chat, can you guys tell me any other books she might have?
Oh, I can tell you right now. James Hunter and Eden Hudson write the Rogue Dungeon series.
Right, of course.
Which has,
Nice.
I haven't read them or listened to them, but their covers are beautiful.
They're ridiculous.
So
They're
good.
ridiculous. Dude, James Hunter's I love the way he does things, man. He's got style and it's cohesive, like across everything on his label, so I think that's really cool, and I think that it's cool that he teams up with authors so much. I just see James Hunter plus this person, James Hunter plus this person, new series all the time, and it's just really cool.
Collaboration.
Yep.
Sparks innovation.
Indeed. So we have Death Cultivator 2 here, and we're gonna, instead of being serious and dramatic, we're gonna have fun with it. Thank you for whoever requested Death Cultivator 2. but we're gonna fuck it up.
Yeah.
All right.
This
So
is
what are we gonna do?
do?
Let's read it. Fight scene. Grady Hake. I'm gonna guess Hake because I don't know. It just reminds me of Japanese for some reason.
16-year-old death cultivator.
I want sushi so bad right now.
Ooh, yeah, I could go for that. I could go for
Yeah.
some sushi.
16-year-old death cultivator accidentally isekai'd from Earth. Is fighting aliens for a ranking in his new gang. Oh, what? That's a dude. Grady. Okay, all right. The sooner he gets to 20 wins, the higher he'll be ranked. His first fight is against an old rival, an Elef. An Elef, pretty much a space elf. They're like Eldar from Warhammer 40k. They've both been given restrictions they have to follow during the bout or take a disqualification loss. Grady's restriction is cloaking his death spirit, or miasma, so his attacks are invisible. Oh, it's Hake. It's Hake.
Hake. Okay. Yeah.
All right. So you want to take oh no, narration is the main character. It's this first person. So 16-year-old first person. I can do it if you guys want to take the rest of the voices.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Right.
Annie, why don't you take Elef?
Okay.
You're a glass cultivator.
Excellent.
You grow glass in a garden.
Now, I think what we might want to
It's
do,
a Legolas.
what is a Legolas? Lord of the Rings, Annie. Lord of the Rings, the elf, the blonde
Orlando
elf dude.
Bloom.
Orlando Bloom.
Yeah, so you are Orlando Bloom.
I'm Orlando Bloom. Does he sound like this?
That's good.
Yeah,
yes, he does actually.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that you know what we might have to. Let's switch this one up because it seems that there's a couple smaller characters. But maybe what we'll do is let's just start it and then I'll pause you guys.
Okay.
And then we'll switch it up.
All right, cool. War Cry, burning hatred cultivator. Hake's Jason Statham-esque friend. All right. Former space UFC champ. Human. Oh my God. No, sorry. I'm taking this guy. All right.
What I'm going to do, so my role, I'm not going to narrate. I'm not going to narrate this time. I'm going to act as Drew Carey here, and I'm going to call out different changes for you guys to take on.
Okay.
All right?
Okay, I like it.
So anybody in the audience, feel free to send me suggestions, and I will pause them whenever I feel like. What's a ganger voice? What is a ganger voice?
Doppelganger. Reggie from ELLC.
Oh,
yeah,
Reggie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'd like to hear that impression. Okay, but yeah, send your suggestions for like different accents, different characters, voices. You can call for Boxy. You can call for Arnold Schwarzenegger. You can call for Morgan Freeman voice. Jeff is going to do his best. Annie's going to do her best, and we're going to get silly.
All right.
Let's do this.
Hungry Ghost. Sorry, one more thing. Hungry Ghost, tiny grinning skull stone that stores death spirit, aids Hake's cultivation, and dispenses advice that might not be 100% harmless. Okay.
That sounds pretty fun.
Yeah. So that's like a, like the smarmy sidekick.
Yeah, I like that.
Like there always is in lit RPG. Okay. Death cultivator versus space elf.
Okay, so who's who? So I'm Elef.
You're Elef.
Who's Hungry Ghost?
You want to be Hungry Ghost? It doesn't say. It doesn't say that it's male or female. So
sweet.
Okay. I pushed through the locker room doors. The Elef was already inside, waiting for our fight to be called. He caught my eye and wrinkled his nose in disgust.
Ready to lose again, meat roach?
He sneered. I smirked. This isn't your nice, safe tournament, champ. Down here, I won't get disqualified for murder. Obviously, I wasn't being serious, but it was pretty gratifying to see the look on his face when I said it. The announcer's overhyped voice rang through the PA system. Justin, you want to take this one?
Winner! Warcry Thompson, 1 win, 0 losses.
I couldn't hear anybody cheering out there until the arena doors popped open and Warcry shoved his way into the locker room. Then a couple random claps filtered in. The ginger caught sight of me and looked like he was about to say something smart.
Next bout.
The announcer cried.
Cedric Nameless, 0 wins, 0 losses versus Grady Hake, 0 wins, 0 losses. And pause. We are going to switch it up, and you are both going to act like drunk spider queens. Take it away.
The ELF tried to shoulder check Warcry as he blew past, but Warcry said it coming and threw his hip into the shot. They both bounced back and glared at each other. After a second, the ELF shoved through the arena doors. Warcry's lips twisted up in a snarl.
Kick his ass, Scruff.
I nodded and headed out into the arena.
And pause. Annie, switch roles. Annie's going to take over narration for a minute.
There was hardly anyone in the stands. I didn't see bigger stuff out there. But I figured if he was going to put restrictions on people and keep track of what counted as a win or loss. Hold on. That he probably had a way to keep an eye on every match. The ELF stood out at the center of the dirt floor, waiting for me.
Pause. Annie, you are now a concerned grandmother giving her grandson advice.
How is that different?
Oh, poor Jeff. Okay.
This 1.8-second victory in the Wilderness Territorial Championship match kept running through my head. He was so much faster than anyone I'd fought. I wouldn't be able to see him without Kai sight, and I'd never be able to touch him without Kai speed. And with the scythe weighing me down, I'd never get up to speed without a metric ton of Kai strength.
Pause. Switch.
And
Jeff
I'm
takes
the
over.
old lady?
You're the old lady.
I stopped a good 20 feet away from him, hoping the distance would give me enough time to react to his first shot. Adrenaline flared through my body.
You sound kind of like Chomsky right now. Like an old woman version of Chomsky.
I clutched Hungry Ghost in my fist and triggered the Kai enhancements, sending as much miasma as I could stand rushing through my muscles. The ELF took a fighting stance that was half runner's crouch, but he didn't summon his usual weapon, the glass hammers.
Fighting in...
The announcer oversold the dramatic pause, and for a second, all I could hear was my breath scraping in and out of my trachea and my heart thumping in my ears.
Bamboo Forest and pause. Jeff, you're going to hold on to it, but you are going to be Forrest Gump reminiscing.
Oh.
Forrest Gump reminiscing.
Okay. All right. I don't know if I can do
God,
this.
he did do a lot of that, didn't he?
He did. There were a couple of half-hearted claps. Then the floor started rumbling. Bamboo exploded out of the ground, the stalks growing and stretching up toward the arena ceiling until they towered over us, blocking out the crowd. Instead of facing me head-on, the ELF launched himself at the bamboo, parkouring up the stalks like he was doing wall
You gotta
jump.
lose a few IQ points, Jeff.
Do I? All right.
Yeah.
I turned to follow his route, trying to focus on the essence of death
There we
and
go.
throw everything I had into a last-ditch cloaking effort. Nothing happened.
Pause. Switch.
Okay. The E left at me. Shining. You have a better Forrest Gump than me. Shining spirit raced down his leg and boot, covering his massive overhead axe, kicking a layer of glass. Okay, I lost it. Hold up. Okay. I threw my arms up and triggered death metal. Glass shattered against my shield, plinking off the bamboo stalks around us like rain. Sometimes I have this moment where I realize that this is going to be on the internet forever.
Oh, it's Forrest Gump. It's a character.
That always, to me, that's encouraging. I don't know.
Okay. I threw my weight into the massive Kai strengthened shield bash, but the Elef was already off to my side, circling around behind me.
All right, and pause. We are going to Annie. Do you know Darkwing Duck?
Do Darkwing Duck for a second.
Jeff, do you know
Let's
Darkwing
get
Duck?
dangerous.
Like
Right.
that. Is this Darkwing Duck?
It's really hard to do his voice. It's like
Darkwing
he's got the most
Okay.
distinct.
It's too complicated. Do
Too complicated.
Donald Duck instead. Donald Duck.
That's that. Darkwing's too complicated. Then you say Donald. That's better than I could do.
Was that Daffy? No, Daffy's this one, right?
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
Daffy. Okay, so Donald's the
Daffy.
hard one. Okay. Wait.
Impossible.
Okay, do Mickey Mouse then.
Mickey Mouse.
Mickey Mouse. Mickey
Okay,
Mouse.
that's better. Is it me?
Yeah, it's you.
Okay, where am I?
Just giving you a little.
Glass flashed, I
Okay.
think.
Glass flashed. I slammed a shield down behind me, but it was a heartbeat too slow. The tip of the glass short sword stabbed into my back, just under my kidney. It was just the first inch or so of the blade, not deep enough to do lethal damage, but deep enough that it sliced through the muscle. My right leg went weak, and hot blood trickled down my side.
Pause. Switch.
Okay. Trickle down my side.
No healing kicked in to close it up. Crap. Right. No script tattoo. I flooded the wound with miasma, frosting it over enough to stop the bleeding. The left was already out of range for a shield bash, but he still had his feet on the forest floor. I had to slow him down. With another massive dose of spirit from Hungry Ghost, I sent the eerie ghost hands of Death Grip reaching up out of the dirt, snapping for his ankles. But the Aleph was too fast. He was already running back up into the bamboo.
Pause. Peter Griffin.
Oh, that's okay. The hole in my back muscles screamed, and my right leg wouldn't respond fast enough to run after him. Ugh, not very good, is it?
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. I'm
Okay.
feeling it.
Couldn't even jump for a kick. Without healing, I was totally grounded while the Elef had the overhead advantage. Ugh, I can't do the Boston accent for some reason. I had to drag him down to my level. I'm not even good at it. Hold on, let me try
You
like
can't stand not being good at it.
I know it's really annoying. Miasma exploded off me to the front and both sides, forming
Yeah,
a
there it
trio of
There we
almost
go.
human-shaped blobs. 3 corpse
Yeah.
sickness. The corpses scrambled up the bamboo like monkeys.
We
Carefully
just got Patrick
smoky
Warburton.
turquoise. Oh, god damn it.
Pause. Switch. Annie, how's your Boston?
Let's see. The corpses scrambled up the bamboo like monkeys. Every smoky turquoise appendage grabbing and pulling swinging them higher. The
Wait, pause,
Elef's gray
pause.
eyes.
Gilbert Gottfried.
The Elef's gray eyes shot at me, then back at them.
You look like you're
Something
doing.
I noticed since coming up with the 3-corpse sickness ability was that people tended to assume that it must be powerful and well thought out.
You look
Like I had some brilliant end game in mind and I was used to it when I used it. I can talk like him, but I can't read while I'm doing it. That wasn't true at all.
You look like you're doing you look like you're doing an impression of like an Asian person stereotype right now because of your big round glasses and your
Mr. Owl glasses.
I just went with my gut. And their reaction to the 3 corpses filled in the rest.
Pause. You are now a tutorial on how to use a piece of machinery.
Okay.
Where are we?
But it was
But it
usually
was
good for
usually-
distraction.
Okay. But it was usually good for distraction. While the Elef tried to figure out how to deal with these new enemies, I dug the healing elixir out of my pocket and gulped it down. Nobody had said I couldn't use it during the match. Right away, the bleeding stopped, and the muscle grew back together. The spot still felt weak, like the stab wound was a couple weeks old instead of brand new. But at least my leg wasn't buckling with every step anymore.
Pause. Switch.
Oh, same thing.
Yeah.
Any more? All right. I'm sorry. I've been
Up in the bamboo.
Up in the bamboo. Is that the beginning of a paragraph? There we go. Up in the bamboo, the Elef hesitated for a split second too long. The fastest of my corpses left off its stalk at him like it was going to tackle him out of the air. Glittering glass spirit shot down the Elef's arms and coalesced in his fists as hammers. His fist crashed into the corpse, hammer exploding into a bomb of glass shrapnel. Of course, since the corpse had basically no structure, it disintegrated in a flash of turquoise.
Pause. We're going to go with one of the suggestions. I want you to be Cruel Jeff. Frank Moore suggested Cruel Jeff. So basically
like
your
Jeff
evil
Hayes.
alter ego.
Nice.
All right. Okay. Let's see.
Down on the ground.
Down on the ground, I threw out dead reckoning in a wide net around myself, so I'd have plenty of warning when the Elef fell, and set it up to trigger death grip. I could feel the scythe clinging to my skeleton, weighing me down. How was I supposed to summon that? Whenever the Angel of Death used the scythe, it always looked like she pulled the thing out of thin air. Let's see. Hungry Ghost.
Heavenly weapon is not made of spirit, but responds like spirit.
Hungry Ghost croaked.
Oh, shit.
Death Cultivator must direct it where he wants it.
And I stuck out my right arm and concentrated on sending the scythe to my hand. It ran up my skeleton toward my shoulder, then down my arm, ripping through the muscle tissue as it passed, then burning it back together. I gritted my teeth, but the pain tore a scream out of my throat anyway.
Pause. Switch. Annie, you're now Cruel Jeff.
The angle of death's scythe emerged in my fist, glinting black under the arena lights. My fleshless hand bones. My fleshless hand bones. My fleshless hand bones looked extra white against the
Annie.
pitch black handle.
You're going to have to lose a couple IQ points.
So good.
Just as before, my muscle and skin were gone in the shoulder.
Okay. Annie, what's up, Jeff?
What was that gong? Was that the end? Was that the
That's
end
the gong. That's the end gong. That's the end gong.
It's time for the next thing.
Oh, what's the next thing? Oh my god. Haiku time. Right. I forgot about haikus. Thank you for the end gong there, Mr. Ahmed. That was Death Cultivator 2 by Eden Hudson, as intended. If you get the audiobook, which I'm sure I think
It
Travis
must.
Baldry actually does the first book.
Yeah,
Actually.
so clearly it's going to sound just like what we
Just like what we did. He just switches accents, multiple times.
That's kind of how he learned how to narrate, by watching this show and watching what we do here.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yes. Travis Baldry.
Okay.
Yep.
So my only regret, someone did request Scrooge McDuck.
I didn't see the Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah, Scrooge McDuck would have been fun, but too late now.
Save it for next time. There will be more of these.
Yeah, someone requests Scrooge
Bookmark
McDuck next
it.
time. All right, so that's the first two segments. We got one last segment, Gary's games minus the Gary equals games. So what's the rules? I don't know what the rules of this game are.
All right.
Gary
It looks
left
like
us instructions.
I'll read them off.
Thank
They're up
you.
here
Thank you.
in the chat. Okay, so poems. I think poems. Oh yeah, it's a haiku.
Right.
One at a time, each member must construct a poem with a certain emotion. How? One-word suggestions from either the audience or the cast members. Audience, start giving us emotions.
Yeah,
Then the emotion is picked. For example, radio, sad. The emotion is picked. Radio sad?
What?
Wait,
Radio sad.
what's
What's
did we
radio?
miss
What's
something?
radio? What's
Where'd that-
radio?
where did radio
What's
come from?
radio?
I missed radio. Certain emotion. How?
Wait,
One word
reread the
suggestion.
instructions. Where'd the
Oh,
radio-
I think
Okay,
maybe
here we go.
radio is supposed to be for the rhyming one he suggested. It was like something that you're supposed to rhyme and then an emotion.
Oh, maybe
That's what I
it.
pieced together from
Got
the
it,
poem that he
got it,
made.
okay.
But we're doing haikus, so I don't know.
Yes.
Is there?
We might just have to do a very loose, haiku, with a subject, maybe 2 words. for a
Maybe,
subject.
an object. We need object suggestions and emotion suggestions.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, let's get some of those.
Oh wait,
Ooh,
this is
trust.
not a haiku.
No, his poem is not, but he suggested a haiku
It's a limerick.
after that.
For extra
Oh.
complexity, we can make it a
No,
haiku.
a haiku is no.
Oh, I see.
Oh, yeah. Which, to me, it seems like a little less a complexity, which is why I liked it.
Yeah, I'm a fan of the haikus. Let's do a haiku. Let's choose a who wants to start? Who wants to
Although
start
limericks are
off on
fun.
this one?
And it's almost St. Patrick's Day.
I think
I'm gonna
I'll
go.
start. Justin, you should start.
You think I should start?
I
Okay,
think
I will start. And looks like Ahmed has selected trust or high. You know what? Let's go with high. Sitting Duck Casting has made some suggestions, and let's use this one. And the object is Minic. I don't know if I could do high Minic. Jeff, you could do high Minic.
High Minic.
Oh, is that what Minic
It's
sounds
about
like?
high Minic, right? It doesn't have to be.
Could I do a haiku that's like?
Yeah. Okay. It's a haiku about him, right? Okay. So
You just did your haiku. Very good.
Hey!
You're really slinging them tonight,
Come on! What do you want from me? I'm doing the best I can.
Justin. He wore
I'm in
a suit. Leave him alone.
All right. So high Minic. Okay.
All right.
Jeff, you take this one.
you want me? Okay, I'll take it.
You take it.
Okay. It's 575.
575. Yes.
Okay, her softness cried out. She had to scrub Minic once he escaped from
Oh, it's a cliffhanger.
death.
Oh.
Not very good. Not very good. Not very good. But I tried.
I mean,
Okay.
it
Once he
satisfies the
escaped
requirements.
death.
All right,
Rubik's
that was the
Cube constipated.
high Minic. Rubik's Cube
Oh wait, did I do?
constipated.
Oh, it is 5.
What?
Okay, it's 575. Sorry, I thought someone said 757. I don't know.
No. Okay, all right. Rubik's Cube constipated.
It's hilarious.
Do you want to take that one, Annie?
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Sitting on the John.
Sitting on the yeah.
I have 5 greens in a row.
No, that's 8.
I have 5 greens in a row.
No, that's
I'm
7.
done. I'm done. Go.
Sitting on the John,
No more
I
counting
have
for me.
5 greens in a row. Painful, twisting turns.
Ooh.
Where's the
Oh
Rubik's
my
Cube
god.
in there?
That was it. That was
the twisting.
She conjured an
conjured.
You
image.
see what I did there?
Got
You
it.
see what I
Ooh,
did?
yes.
Got it.
Wow.
I was thinking
Well,
of intestines.
That's right.
I was thinking of intestines.
That
and,
of-
you know,
yes,
that
yes.
pain.
Yes.
That's incredible. I'm inspired.
Yeah,
I'm a songwriter.
You are. That's true. That's true. I could see it. I could see. I was there. I was there with you.
Yeah, it's a little creepy. You were in the bathroom with her.
I was.
While she was,
I was.
That's why I couldn't go. I was like,
That
Justin,
took a twisty turn.
I know that if I move the bathroom curtain, you're gonna be fucking standing there.
That is every person's
It's every day.
nightmare.
Every day of my life.
Every day of your life. It's true. It's true.
He's not there, but I do. I have.
It might be. It might be.
I do have the fear.
It might be a dream for some of our fans, though, to like open their shower curtain. And there's Justin.
Hello.
Yeah.
In my suit.
Yeah, in his suit.
Well,
It's a
welcome
formal
to your
occasion.
bath. Okay, all right. So
Your
that
turn.
was what kind of emotion? How would you describe that awe emotion?
That awe emotion, like of seeing you in.
Yeah, yeah.
I
That
also
like,
want to take a
aw.
moment. I want to take a moment to
aw.
appreciate that we used constipated as an emotion because I think that is the proper. That is the
It
proper
is. It is.
way to describe constipation.
Yes. Yes. I think I've felt some sort of constipation, mental constipation using a Rubik's Cube.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, it is a cube, so.
Suits are sexy. So I'm gonna do a haiku about that awe feeling, that like kind of warm, cuddly feeling. That one. What
Okay.
emotion is that?
That
With what, Jeff?
With something else. That and sea urchin.
Okay. It floats on its back, soft and playful with them spikes. Little otter, aw.
That's the cutest
Oh.
little haiku I've done ever heard.
Yeah. Good work. Good work. I think Justin won this segment.
That's true.
that one.
Wait a second.
Yours,
Yours-
God, yours was really good too, though.
Oh, it's
Benefit
okay.
of wearing a
It's
suit.
okay.
I think
I'm
clearly-
used to being
I
over
mean,
everyone's
just-
fucking head.
it's
Okay,
so-
it's okay.
It was too esoteric.
Right. I think
You guys
that,
obviously didn't get
4
the
out of
triple
5 stars.
meaning.
Justin, that was the time that you should have said lower the IQ a couple points.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, that's the wrong time. So I think Annie won the second segment.
Oh,
Nice.
yes.
Right,
Oh, indeed.
because
Right,
Oh,
so
yes.
this is one of those
Godfrey
things
and
where
it
you
was
have to give
narration.
everyone has to get an award. So I wasn't able
Jeff,
to
I would-
win both the second
Yeah.
and third segment.
I'm definitely gonna give Jeff the intro. You know, you came in hard, you came in swinging, you nailed
was-
that intro.
It was a good intro.
Yeah. It was-
You
Yeah.
did win the first
Knocked it out of
one.
And
That
I
was
think
very
I think Joe DeProfio won the first segment.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, you know,
Oh,
if he
no
were
question.
he definitely did. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, guys, I think that's our show. That's all 3 segments, and
That's the show.
feels pretty good. Feels pretty good to finally get that Rubik's Cube out of my butt.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
So thank you everybody for coming and hanging out. Be sure to visit our website, get on the newsletter, subscribe to us on YouTube, do all the internet stuffs that make us important to you.
Yeah.
And one day
And
you might get to be. You might get gifted a Rubik's Cube from Jeff.
Yeah.
One day.
I mean, you won't know where it's been.
brand new.
You won't know where it's been.
Bad.
but you'll get it. So thank you guys again. 2 weeks from now, back here. Love you all.
Love you guys. Thanks for hanging